All right, guys, today we got 2014 Ram 1500 3.6 liter, very common engine on all platforms on Chrysler. Client brought it in to fix a misfire. So let's get into it. All right, guys, we got the E-scan hooked up to it. We've got some codes. Let's take a look at what we got. So we've got a P0204 injector 4 circuit malfunction. Looks like we have an engine oil pressure sensor switch, low voltage, P0522, and you'll see that. P0304, that's cylinder 4 misfire. Well, we got a circuit issue on the injector and we got a misfire on 4. P0303, cylinder 3 misfire. All right, interesting. And a 402, P0402, exhaust gas recirculation system, excessive flow. And then we've got a, looks like a C code down there. That's kind of weird. Okay, CO700. All right, so I've got it sitting here. I drove it in. It's skipping. It's just dead skip. Feels like one cylinder is dead skipping. So we can see that this thing has been being worked on at some point. Monitors have not run. All the monitors have not run. So again, I don't care what's been done to this car. We're going to find out why this thing's misfiring. Who knows? Somebody might have put some parts in it or something. I don't know. So let's let me get under the hood, take a look around under the hood a little bit, and we'll get right back to you. We've got the battery maintainer hooked up. We are kind of looking around a little bit. Let me get my trusty step stool here. It's made by Mercedes. It's a high-end step stool. All right, so just want to look around a little bit. See if I see. All right, tell you what, I want to get, I can see something right off the bat. Look at here, definitely been being worked on. We got this is loose. Let me get that off. So we had cylinder 3 misfire and a cylinder 4 with the misfire and the injector code. I don't know which one's what at this point. We got an oil leak for sure. The valve cover's leaking oil pretty bad. All right, let's, I don't see anything obvious. I'm just looking for rodent damage, something that I can see that's really obvious. You know, those little guys like to get up under there and chew up all kind of wires. Let me go ahead and get a, I want to get code descriptions on those codes. I'm going to get, because I'm curious as the other codes that we've got. I know we're going after the misfire, but I'm going to look up those other codes real quick. Code descriptions, I'm going to go wiring diagram of the injectors. I want to see cylinder identification. Which one am I dealing with here? Which injector am I dealing with? So let me do that, and I'll be right back. All right, had some mic problems, so now we got a little fuzzy guy right here, but hopefully you guys can hear us. But if it changed, that's why. We got some information pulled up. Come on over, let's take a look. All right, so I went in and looked at, first of all, the C0700 code. C0700 code there. I could not get any information on that, found nothing. So I'm not going to really concern myself with that right now. I'm trying to get rid of a misfire, so let's just go with that. I just pulled up the P0204 code. Just wanted to see exactly, what it was looking at. I know it's looking at the circuit for that injector, but I just want to know exactly how it's doing it. So if we read this part right here, circuit open and circuit low detection, it says the PCM monitors for an open circuit or short to ground when the driver is switched off. So basically what it's looking at is it's looking at the voltage from an injector comes from a battery source. It's going to go through the circuit, through the injector coil windings. It's going to come back out of the injector and go into the PCM on the control side, so which we think of as the ground side. But when it's not grounded, that voltage is going to go all the way through the injector and back to the PCM. The PCM is looking at that voltage. It's looking for battery voltage on that circuit when it's not being controlled. So in between each firing of that injector, it's looking for that battery voltage. So that's good to know for me, because now I know how it's looking, what it's looking for. So if we didn't have power going to the injector, we could have this problem. If the injector is open, we can have this problem. The windings are open. If the control side coming back to the PCM, we got a bad connection at the PCM, we got a bad connection at the injector, we got a broken wire in between, you know, we could definitely have this code. So, and then the other thing could be, you know, the driver in the module could be bad and not sensing that, or it's not really the driver that would be bad, but inside the PCM would be bad. So those are the options we have for this injector problem right now. So I went ahead and pulled up the wiring diagram. So here's the wiring diagram for, this is the powertrain control or powertrain management wiring diagram. So I'm going to look for the injectors. So here's the injectors. All right, I'm going to see something real quick here. Yeah, okay. So here's our injectors. I'm going to blow this up a little bit because my eyes are a little bit, there we go. Now I can see it good. All right, so cylinder number 4. So here's fuel injector number 4, top of left cylinder bank. Okay, let's see where that is. The first thing I want to know is, where is that number 4? So you guys know I like to open, if you've watched the videos before, you know I like to open multiple tabs. I'm going to put a wiring diagram on this, and I'll move around in another tab. But once I'm on a wiring diagram, that wiring diagram stays up. If I need to be on 3 or 4 wiring diagrams at one time, I'm going to have 3 or 4 tabs open. So, all right, so let's go ahead and find out where cylinder number 4 is. I'm not going to go through slowly how I'm finding this. You guys, I'm sure, are familiar with how to do that. All right, first of all, the firing order is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good to know that. Right bank, left bank. Okay, so 2, 4, and 6 are under the intake plenum on the driver's side. So now we know it's 2, 4, and 6, and we see that 1, 3, and 5. So here's 3. On this side, remember, we have a misfire. Wasn't a lot, but we did have some misfires on that one, but 4 was a massive amount. So, all right. So we know now we know that that is a very difficult one to get to. We can't get to that without pulling the intake plenum off. So we need to see if we can get to that through some other means. So we need to get to the wiring on this. So here's fuel injector number 4. All right, so clicked on the box on 4. It's going to highlight all the wire, all our circuit for that. So we can see right away this pink and white comes out, and you see that it feeds all the injectors. Okay, so that's going to be our power feed to this injector, which definitely we need to know. And then it also, brown and yellow comes out. And brown and yellow is going to come out, and there it goes to the PCM. Why did it highlight that brown and white up there? No idea why it did that. Let's unclick that and see if that goes away. Oh, okay. That must be something that's coming off of one of the other injectors. Let's go back. Okay, I see something interesting right there. Let's keep going. Okay, brown and white, brown and white. Brown and white. It's not highlighted over here for some reason. Fuel pressures. No, that's brown and yellow. What the heck? What did I do, guys? Sorry. Let's go back over. Brown and white, brown and white, brown and white, brown and white, brown and white. This is the brown and white. Okay, there we go. Yep. All right. Sensor ground. Okay. All right. Well, I'm not going to overly concern myself with that. All right. What I want to do is I want to look at this power feed, because I need to get, what I really like to do is get an amp clamp around this power feed. I like to get all the injectors. If I can possibly get all the injectors, I definitely want to do that. And I need to look at this control side. So the control side looks like it goes straight to the PCM, just all by itself, which would make sense. We do have a connector, I-271. Okay, so we have a connector on that one. We have the same connector on fuel injector number 2. So remember, 2, 4, and 6 are under the intake plenum. So does number 6, I would think it would have the same connector. We see that same connector here on the power. All right, cool. Let's see here. Number 6 is brown and violet. That's this one. Come up. Look at here. Here's that same connector. Why in the world they put that connector down here, and then on number 6, they run it all the way up, and it's the same connector, guys. It's the same connector. So, but it's way up here. Look on the wiring diagram closely. Make sure you follow it out so that you can know what you're dealing with here. So we know we can get to all of these control wires if we need to in that connector. Now we need to find out what this connector is. We also see that the power feed is coming through that, but let's look closely at that. So we come in to a splice. This is in the engine harness. Okay, so we're in a splice, and we feed off of that splice into the passenger side injectors, 1, 3, and 5. We come off of that splice, and it looks like we go into that connector. We come out of that, and we feed the under plenum. Okay, so I don't want to go into an engine harness. I'm not going to tear an engine harness apart to try to get to here. I want to follow this back, because if I can get all 6 injectors at one time on an amp clamp, and I'll show you why I want to do that, that would be fantastic. So let's follow that back. This is the pink and white, this one up here. So we're going to follow that back and see. And yeah, I figured this was. So here's another splice. So these feed down. Now you can figure normally top of wiring diagrams are power and the bottoms are ground. That's not always the case, but it kind of falls true, especially track wiring diagrams. But we come into this one, we've got this power. We know the power is coming from this side. Okay, guys, we know the power is coming in and feeding those injectors, but it's also coming down, and it goes into PCM. I don't know why it didn't highlight this one, because clearly it goes there too. That says auto shutdown control output. Okay, so let's just keep going back. I'm just curious here. That's going to throw a little wrench in it, but let's keep going back. No pun intended. All right, so we go back, here we go. Here's our fuse. Okay, so here's our fuse, auto shutdown relay, come out. All right, here's my issue. Normally what I would do is I would go into this fuse. I would put a AESWave makes a great little tool that you take the fuse out, you plug this tool in. It's a little jumper wire with a loop on it. You plug that in, put your fuse in it, and then you put your amp clamp around it, and I'll get everything on this circuit. Problem is I'm going to get everything on that circuit, which if it was just the injectors would be no issue. That would be fantastic. The problem is this goes to the PCM. These go to the PCM, and I don't know what else they're going to feed, but I guarantee you they're going to do something. So that's going to probably throw some extra stuff on that amp clamp, where I'm going to pick up some other things. And I really don't want to do that. I don't want to muddy the water like that when I'm looking at those. If I have to, I will. But I do know if this one is easy to get to, I can get the 3 injectors under the intake plenum if this connector is easy to get to. So if I can get to that, and I can either get on the wire over here or the wire over here on the other side of the connector, either way, I'll pick up these 3 injectors, and the one I'm concerned about is number 4. So if I get all 3 of them, I can time it and I can see. So let's find out where I-271 is. All right, so again, this is why I leave these things open. Let's just see if we get really lucky, and I can punch that in. And all right, well, there's I-271 connector pinout. Let's see if I can find out, okay. Let's go and see what pin it was on. I-271 pin 1. Pin 1 is going to be our power coming in. Pin 1, power coming in, pin 1, pink and white. See, that's calling it the ASD control output, which would be, that would be correct. So, all right. Let's go and see, does this tell me where this connector is located? Let's see here, locations, connectors. Oh, great. Well, let's see here. What did it? This is why I like opening multi inline engine injector engine. Inline injector engine. Let's see if it shows anything with that. injector, engine jumper injector. I-9-200. That doesn't look right. All right, let's go back. Let's see if we can't. Wait a minute, here we go. Engine injector, I-271. There we go. I-271. Here it is. All right, let's blow that up. See where we're at. Intake plenum is here. That's sitting right next to the intake plenum at the back. Okay. You know what? I think I saw that when I pulled that air intake tube off. All right, cool. So we see where it is. Got it. Got that in our memory here. I'm going to pull that. I want to keep this because I want to know this one. All right. Let's go ahead and go back over to the car and let's go to see if we can get to this. We're looking for a pink white on pin 1. Pink white on pin 1. And we're going to be looking pink white on pin 1. That looks like brown white. All right, let's go to that. Let's go to that. All right, let's see. I see that. I see it right here. All right. Here's our, looks like that connector. Yep. Pink white on the corner. All right. Might have to peel this back a little bit to get to that. Get an amp clamp around there. We'll see. I want to see the other side of that because it seems to have a different color coming out. It does have a different color coming out. Let's see here. All right. Yep. So it does have, it's got brown white coming out of it. Okay, so I don't have enough room there, I don't think, to get an amp clamp around. So I might have to peel this back just a little bit. We're going to try not to. All right. So here's what I want to do. I want to get I'm going to get the scope out here. I want to get into a few things here. I'm definitely going to get an amp clamp, and I'm going to get a I'm going to get some leads on some of the injectors, and then we're going to see what kind of patterns we can get and see if we can't determine what the next step's going to be. So give me just a minute. I'll get the scope hooked up. All right, I've got looked at wiring diagram. We got a kind of a plan. My monitor's way on the other side of the shop over there, so I pulled my iPad out because I'm not going to remember where the pinouts are. So I got that back up on here. I want to go over something real quick because some people have asked about, specifically when using the E-scope, how to connect things and how to actually use the E-scope. So just really quickly, let's go over how we connect the amp clamp. So amp clamp is going to come like that, okay? So we're going to take, and go ahead and disconnect this, just how you did. These little black jumper come in the kit, okay? You're going to take your lead, so I've got the purple lead. You're going to take the black jumper and close to the end, there's this little connection. You're going to take that, the ground side, and go to that. And then you're going to take the lead and put it into the positive, and the little jumper wire you just hooked up into the negative. Turn it on to whatever amperage you want. Make sure you got a good battery. Tell you what, guys, if you don't do this, doing as long as I have, I've killed about 1,000 9-volt batteries leaving this on. I wish they had an auto off, but they don't. Make sure you turn this back off when you're done. Otherwise, keep a very good stock of 9-volt batteries, which we do. We're going to come over here to the scope. I'm on the purple channel, so I'm going to grab 20 amps on the purple channel. All right. I don't know why that just, so 20 amps on the purple channel. I am going to 0 that amp clamp. All right. I'm also going to come over here and I'm just going to just do that just to be sure. All right. So we are hooked up on the amp clamp. So now I've got all my wires hooked to the scope. I'm ready to hook up. Again, I'm going to try to get this around that pink and white wire in just a second. I want to look, actually I'm going to hook that up first because I'm going to be pretty aggressive on the, oh, that's going to fit nice actually. All right, well, make sure you're on there and make sure the clamps are wrapped around it. That actually fit about as perfect as we can get. Now, the question is, can I get my back probes in? So let me go ahead and pull it up. All right, all I did was pull up the wiring diagram and the connector view on my iPad. And this works for me because I am able to blow it up. All right, so I want injector. I want injectors. We know that 2, 4, and 6, if I remember right, 2, 4, and 6 go under the intake manifold. They all go through that connector. Let me be doubly sure of that. Yes, 2, 4, and 6. So there we go. All right, so let me find those on here. See what. I see injector control 2 is pin 11. All right, pin 11, got it. Injector control 4 is 14. Got it. All right, these are all on the end. So 11, I bet you that injector 6 is probably 24. Yep, so it's on the end. All right, so they're all in the corners, it looks like. So I'm gonna set this up here. I'm gonna put this front cover on it because I'm gonna be leaning over and standing on this stuff. So, all right, let's see if we can't get into these things. All right, so I like to start. I'm gonna start with my yellow. I'm gonna probably go yellow, red, green, because it's gonna be 2, 4, 6. Keep them in line with the colors if I'm looking at them in the multi-view. Let's see here. All right, so injector number 2. Injector number 2. 11, brown and dark blue. 11, brown and dark blue. It's the opposite side of 1. It's brown and dark blue. It looks like it's that one. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Yeah, okay. That's not making contact. All right, guys, we're gonna do something a little different. This connector is not gonna be conducive to getting the back probing. So, give me 1 second, and I'll be right back. All right, so I've got the T-piercers now. I'm not going to sit there and fight. That thing's got some big openings, and I'm going to be sitting there fighting that, and I'm going to be losing contact, and I don't want to do that while I'm testing. So I'm going to do this, and I can seal them up later. All right, got my meter screen up so I can see it nice and big when I'm making contact. Do it again here. All right. So, opposite side, number 11. That's going to be this one. Bring it out here a little bit. There we go. That's made contact perfectly. All right, number 4, brown and tan. Number 14. 14 is straight under, and in 1 from here. So I'm thinking it's this one right here. All right, I'm hoping that's that one. I think it is. And then number 6. It's dark blue and orange, and it's number 9. That can't be right. Nope, I'm wrong there, guys. See? Gotta look twice. That's coil control, not injector. All right, where's number 6? Number 6, number 6. Here we go, injector. It is brown and violet, and it's 24. Brown and violet, 24. And it's gonna be the end one. Brown and violet. It's gonna be over here. Here we are. I think that's it, right? Is that it? Yes. Okay, we're in there. All right, so now we've got our three injectors that are underneath the intake plenum. I am going to get my blue and put it into, I want to get number 1 injector. I'm going to go grab a back probe real quick that I just took back. So that's kind of a, all right. I'm going to get and back probe number 1 injector. Why am I getting in number 1 injector? Guys, this is not something you have to do, but for my own sanity, I like to trigger off of number 1 because it allows me to not have to think at all when I am doing my calculations on what's firing. All right, that back probe, nice. Okay, so we're good there, and I'm not worried about that. All right, so now what are we in? So what do we got? All right, we're in all three injectors that are then all three injectors that are under the intake plenum, tongue-tied there. We are around the power feed with the amp clamp that feeds those 3 injectors only. It's not going to feed the other 3 injectors. And then I'm in number 1 injector for a sync. So now I'm going to make sure I've got everything set up, which I do. Okay, I'm going to go to deep record. That's on way too much time, guys. Make sure you're looking at your time. Somehow this was set to something way long. I don't need 40 seconds. So as we change the time over here, the recording time over here, it's going to change this time. I want this to be around 20 seconds. It's going to allow me to get a lot of definition. So let's go ahead and start it. I started it with the pen. Let's make sure we're good. Did I have anything that's off here? There's 0. Right. Why is my red? My red is different. So you know what I'm going to do, guys? I am on. Okay, well, let's think about this real quickly. The red is different. Well, red is the circuit that's with the problem. I've got 2, yellow 2. I've got red on 4. I got green on 6. That's why I do that, because that's the order that they're in here. Yellow, red, green. So 2, 4, 6. 4 is red, and I've got something different. So right off the bat, I can see there's something different about red. Let's go ahead and start it up. And I only need a few seconds of running time here. Don't need much. As this is just, all I'm doing is getting a good pattern on the screen. And I'm just looking for what these injectors are looking like. So I stopped it with the pen on the way over, handy feature. All right, so hopefully you guys can see that with no glare. I've got to get in here and look at it, so I'm gonna go get down on my knee so that you guys can see it without a problem. All right, so normally I would save this right off the bat, guys, but you know, we're doing the video, so let me, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm not going to do any processing of the data or anything. I'm just going to look at it. What do I got? What are we looking at here? Again, what's what? Okay, so if we pull this up, okay, we see we have 3 injectors. Remember what we're on. Number 1 is the blue wire. Okay, should have written these down right here. Number 1 is blue. Number 2 is yellow. Number 4 is red. And number 6 is green. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Give me 1 second, guys. Just in that few minutes, I got to get my head straight. So I just wrote down, it's really good to do. I wrote down what leads on what. So yellow's on number 2, red's on number 4, green's on number 6, blue's on number 1, and then purple is my amp clamp. So now let's get back in. So right off the bat, I can see I don't have anything on red. Okay, so red is my problem injector. Let's pull the purple up. All right, purple was upside down. That's okay. I don't have a problem with that. I can still read it. I am going to do this. And there is a way of inverting that, evidently. I got to get with Jeff over at ATS and find out how to invert that once I've got it on here. But let's go ahead and look at, let's turn the red off. We know it's an issue. Okay. We can see that that amp clamp is upside down. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, guys. I'll tell you real quick. Let me go ahead and invert that. I'm going to restart it, get you guys some fresh data so that I don't want to confuse anybody. So all I'm going to do now is the same thing I just did. And I just inverted. I didn't have to flip the clamp over. All I did was invert it on the waveform. And I know there's a way of doing that without doing what I just did, but I've got to get with them to find out. All right, there we go. Now, same thing, exactly the same stuff. We just now have the purple is going to be rising instead of falling. See, there we go. Perfect. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I am going to I want to get one cycle. And I want to time this out and see what we got. All right, we get cursors here. So we know that's, oh, you know what I did? I did that wrong because, see, I'm messing myself up. Blue is our number 1. All right, blue is number 1. There, that's what I want right there. All right, perfect. All right. So I'm going to just time this off of number 1 here. That's 1 engine rotation. I'm going to mark the cylinders. It is a 6-cylinder. Cylinders. And firing orders 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Enter that. There we go. Now we're looking at everything. We see number 1 injector fired, number 2 fired. Okay. We are not on number 3. Okay. We are on number 4 and we got no fire. We are not on number 5. Number 6 did fire. Now we can go in and get these other 2, and we can look at them. Might be something we can do real quick, actually, so you guys can get a full view of everything. All right, I couldn't help it, guys. I had to go get the other 2 cylinders. That's why we just cut. I got the other 2 cylinders. So now I have all the injectors. No, they're not in order, so this is a little bit bothersome for me, but it's okay. We put in orange on number 3 and brown on number 5. Okay, so we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We see we're missing number 4. Okay. So now we need to determine what's going on. So the reason I did this, I didn't have to do this to get the answer to this. I feel like I already know what's happening here, but we're definitely got some tests we got to run. But I didn't want people to get confused, or why are we missing, other cylinders. So now we can see all the injectors and the one that's missing. So what I want to look at, so red is our missing cylinder. Remember, it's on number 4. Okay, so, and the way we can look at that is we can go ahead and get the cursors. We can bring this over. That's number 1. That's number 1. Mark the cylinders. Firing orders 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, well, here we are. 1, 2, 3. There's no 4. There's no firing on 4. There's 5. There's 6, and then we're back on 1. Okay, so we see that right off the bat. Let's go ahead and blow this up at the bottom. Okay, so it's getting a little confusing. That's all we do is remark the cylinders. We're going to bring all that down so we still see that. Okay. If we look at the red, and hopefully you guys can see this, I can blow it up more if we need to. We see the hump in the red. Can you see the hump in the red? Yeah. Okay. So the hump in the red right here, we see that something happened on that circuit. That's the PCM attempting to fire that fuel injector. We see that it attempted something. It's got a little bump there, but nothing happened. Okay, so we're at that circuit before that connector. So it could be the connection is bad between where we've got this and the injector, or it could be, if we look at it, this circuit is at ground all the time. Well, let's look at the other injectors. If we look at, let's turn everything off. Let's look at 1 fuel injector. So here's 1 fuel injector. This is number 2. 1 fuel injector. We have got system voltage, battery voltage, okay? And then the PCM pulls it to ground and then fires the injector. So we should be at battery voltage all the time. Remember when we looked up, what the module looks for. It looks for battery voltage. Well, this has always got, this is at ground. I mean, it did something here, but this is at ground. So, of course, it's not getting the feedback. All right, so what could we have here? If by having this sitting at ground, what could we be looking at here? Well, again, do we have power to that injector? If we don't have power to that injector, we're not going to have the voltage coming back through the injector to the ground side, to the control side. Is the coil windings bad in the injector? Right, it's not letting the voltage go through the injector or back out to the ground side. Or it could be possible that that wire is broken. We think it's good from the PCM now to that connector because we can see there's a little bump there. We can see there's something happening on it. So is that wire broken from that connector over to the injector? So we're going to have to determine that. But I want to know if that PCM is going to be able to actually fire that injector. So we're going to have a test for that. Well, let's come back in. I want to show you guys something on the amp clamp. So amp clamp, purple, bring that up. All right, well, here's our, got a little bump here, amperage, got a little bump there. See how that lines up perfectly with that number 2 injector, okay? So number 2 injector is lined up. That's exactly what we're looking for. Look at this one. This one is going to line up with number 6 injector, okay? Because remember, we only have the amp clamp around the 3 injectors under the intake plenum because of where that splice was and where we could get to that wire. So we should have a bump here if that injector was firing, but we don't have that. So, and we're not going to have that bump on any of the other injectors because we're not into that. We'd had to get before the splice. So right now we know that it looks like that PCM is attempting to do something. We know that the other 2 injectors are fine. And we know that we don't have power coming through going back to the PCM, which is why it's still in this code. So now I've got a little trick. We're going to try something here. I'm going to get my, now this is a standard test light. This is not a LED test light. A standard test light. It's actually been modified. We've got a 1 amp bulb in here. So this is going to draw 1 amp, okay? So we're going to go back over. We're going to replace the injector with this, okay? So how are we going to do that? Well, what would feed the injector and how would the engine module fire it? We would have power coming in one side of the injector and it would be grounded on the other side. Just for ease of use, I'm going to put power on this side, okay? So I'm going to go with a battery. Okay. I'm going to test the test light just to be sure. We can see, guys, that's pretty bright test light, so that's definitely not a standard test light. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in to my number 4 injector. Remember, it's red. And I'm going to get into the side of this T-piercing. All right, that right now is making a circuit from that wire that goes to the PCM down through and back to power. So this should flash light. This is like an old school Noid light right now. Remember when we put those in the injectors? This is what this should fire. This should actually blink right now. So at the same time I do that, I'm going to go ahead and get some data on the scope. All right, so all I'm going to do again, start it up. Get a few seconds. Okay. Didn't bring my pen with me, so I'm going to have to run back. Okay. I wasn't there to look at it. Cameraman, did it flash? It did flash. Okay. So, good. That's good, because now we know that the PCM was able to activate that test light. So it's able to do the 1 amp of that test light. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this. Let's see, that red wire now should have, there we go. Look at that red wire now. All right, so let's turn on everything. All right, so let's go ahead and blow this up. Blue, it's number 1. Get cursor over to that. All right, again, we're getting 1 cycle here. 6-cylinder, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we are, okay? And here is our number 1 injector, 2 injector, 3 injector, Here's 4. Look what happened here. 4 pulled down. Let me go ahead and move it over a little bit so you guys can see one without the stuff on it. There it is right there. Now, it's not going to look like an injector because it's not a coil winding. It's not an injector. It's just a little bit of a load. But it was able to pull that down, okay? So we know that PCM has the capability of firing that. We know 100% now that the wire between the PCM and where I've got that T-piercer in, that's good. That wire's good from the PCM there. We're not going that direction. So we also know that we don't have power. We're not having any feedback without that hooked up, okay? So now what we need to determine is where is the problem? The problem, we know now, the problem is 100%. Come back up here into the engine compartment. Let's see if I can't get up there, guys. All right. We know the problem is somewhere between here and the fuel injector under the intake plenum, okay? So do we have an issue with this connector? Absolutely we could, okay? So now what I want to do is I want to move this probe to the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm sorry guys, I got to flash the light. I know that you guys makes it hard to see on camera, but I got to be able to see what I'm doing here. So this was the, take that loose. All we're doing by doing this is we're gonna know that we don't have an issue inside here, okay? So brown and yellow, or tan and yellow. All right, now before I do that, because I'm not 100% sure that that's right, I am going to double check my wiring diagram. Tell you what I'm going to do is all I'm doing is moving this around so I can get that test light in there a little better. The test light's still hooked up over on the battery. Now I'm on the other side. Okay, so I want to look at my wiring diagram real quick and make sure that where I just connected is correct. The 2 sides of that connector, the wire colors do change sometimes. So that's number 4. Injector control, number 4. Prantan, brown and yellow. Yeah, so that should be right. Okay, good. All right. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do before I even connect that test light, because I don't want to muddy that up. If I've got a connection problem inside this connector, okay, then, and I'm on the other side of the connector now, so if I have power going to the fuel injector and everything under the plenum, if the injector's good and the wire is good and it's this connection, okay, then now I will have power on that side. If I don't have power on that side when I key it up, then I know that I don't have an issue here with the connector at this point that I can tell. It's something further down the line. So I'm going to do the test light test 2, but first I'm going to go ahead, turn the key on. I can see already on the scope, if we look at that scope, I can see already that that's not changed at all as far as the level. Okay. So coming back over. What happened? No, I don't have the test light hooked up. I'm over here. Okay. All right. So what I've done there is, so I still don't have power. Okay, still don't have power. So now we're going to go back over. So what does that mean? Well, that means that I still don't have power getting to here through the injector over to this point. I'm on the other side. I'm on the engine side of this connector now. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. What I'm doing now is this is going to test the ability of that PCM to fire to ground this circuit through that connector. So let's go ahead and do that. I should get a flashing light again. And I take it the light flashed. So the light flashed, good. That means that circuit is good. All right, let's take a look at the scope. All right, we should see that same red square wave, and we can see it already. There it is. So now we know that the PCM can carry that load through that connector. All right. So now we know the problem is somewhere between where I've got that T pierced in and that wire, that circuit, into the injector on number 4. So I've either got a problem with the control side going to number 4, or I've got a problem with the power feed going to number 4. Okay, we clearly have power going through this connector because remember, this wire, this circuit that I've got the amp clamp around feeds all 3 injectors, and the other 2 injectors are fine. So I don't have an issue with that wire somewhere in this connection. I don't have an issue coming out of there. I could have a power issue going to that injector underneath the intake manifold. Maybe a mouse or something chewed up a wire right at the injector but didn't get the other 2. Okay. So what we need to do now, 100%, is we know it's under the intake plenum. So we've got to get authorization to pull the intake plenum. How we're going to do it is, we're going to go ahead, the way that we would address this is, we're going to go to the client and we're going to say, we've got an issue, we 100% know it's under the intake plenum. It's either going to be an injector, or it's going to be a wiring problem in the intake plenum. I don't want to pull the intake plenum off. I don't want to call the client, say we need to get under the intake plenum and do an inspection, okay? And then wait to have to call them back and maybe not get a hold of them. That's not efficient to do that. So what we're going to do is call the client. We're going to let them know it's under the intake plenum. The highest probability is it's an injector, unless we've got a broken wire under there. So we're going to quote them an injector, and then we're going to say if it doesn't need the injector, and if it's a wire fix, we'll just fix the wire, which is going to be cheaper than the injector, okay? And if it does need the injector, we're rocking and rolling, we're putting an injector in it, and we're out, and it's fixed, okay? So the tech's not standing around waiting for authorization to put the injector in it. So that's how we're going to go about this. Let's get the intake plenum off of this, and well, let's get authorization first. Then we'll get the intake plenum off of this. I'm sure he's going to want to do it. I've been fighting this a little bit, so we're going to get the intake plenum off of it. Once we get authorization, we'll get the answers under there. We'll be back to you. All right, I had Chris take off the intake manifold plenum. We've got access to the injectors. I've already unplugged 2 injectors now. We've looked at the wiring. We don't see an issue with the wiring. Nothing looks like it's been damaged. Nothing looks like it's been chewed. Everything looks pretty good. Now, first thing I'm going to do, just because it's fast and easy, is I'm going to check the injector. I'm not a big ohm guy. I don't like checking resistance of things, but when it comes to an injector, if it's open, it's going to show a big difference. So let's go to a good one. We're on 2 here, and we got 13.2 ohms. Can you see that on there? 13.2 ohms, okay? That seems reasonable to me for an injector, and that's a good one that's firing.
How do you go on that?
I'm just going across the 2 terminals. So here's what I'm doing is I'm taking the leads for the meter, okay? You can see that this, okay? Taking the leads for the meter. I've got it on ohms, and I'm just going across the 2 terminals. It's got the injector unplugged, and I'm going across the 2 terminals. 13 point, there we go. All right. So now I'm going to get to the back one here, to the middle one. This is number 4. This is our problem one. All right. And we're going to look at that one. So that says 16 point, well, jumping everywhere. Hang on, make sure I'm on here good. All right, there we go. 20, 28, 29, it's sitting there changing because it's trying to send something through those windings, and then it went open here. So that is, if I can see, that's thousands of ohms. That's kilo ohms. So that is, that's 39,000, 49,000, 42,000. That is basically 40,000 ohms. It's open. I mean, the coils are no good in it. So that's why we're not getting the voltage through that. That injector, the coiling in that injector has failed. It's going to need that injector. We don't see anything wrong with the wiring. I could go in and, it might not be a bad idea to take this connector here and just, I could put a signal in from the E-scope and run it through and check it if it comes out the other end. I'm very confident that it's good, but if we want to check it, here's what we would do. We're going to come in here. We're going to, looks like this connector might be, actually, all right, it took me just a second to figure out this connector. It's actually pretty easy to get apart. You just squeeze it and pull it apart, but I was trying to make it more difficult than it was. Here's what I've got. So I've got 2 leads in the number 4 injector connector. They're just coming out. I've got my load test light again, my 1 amp test light going to battery negative. So I'm going to go over here and go into my terminal into here. I can already see that it's got contact, so I'm going to ground. That means I'm going to that battery right now. If you watch that test light, if you can see that test light lights up. All right, so we know that that circuit can carry a load. No issues there, okay? Make sure, guys, when you're doing a power probe, you know 100% where you're putting power in. Don't guess. Don't let the smoke out. All right, next one I'm going to do is go over to the power supply to it. You can see again that it's got a good circuit right there, and there we go. Carries a load. So we know that the wiring from this connector over to this connector is good. So there's no issue in this harness. We already know that the connector was good because we already checked on both sides of it. Very easy. We need a fuel injector. It's going to fix the vehicle, and we're going to be good to go. All right, guys, I know a lot of you are watching this video and you're like, I could have done that a lot quicker, or boy, he took a lot of extra steps. We did. I didn't need to get into every injector. There's a lot of steps that I took here, but I wanted to make sure I showed you guys and it was, we had no confusion on what we were doing and why we were doing it. If this was just in here and we were just diagnosing it, it would have gone really, really fast. But I wanted to give you guys all the tools and techniques to do this properly. So I hope you liked the video. If you do have any questions, though, put them down in the comments below, and we will do our very best to answer all the comments if you have any questions about this. So thanks. All right, guys, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. If you like our content, you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. It's free. And hit that notification bell so every time we release a video, you'll be notified about it. Appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one.